Hello, YouTubers. How are you, everyone? I'm just in the dying days of my summer vacation of 2016. It's been quite nice. I can't really complain. I haven't really bought that many records but I've been able to relax and have a good time and enjoy life. But I've yet bought some records, so I thought, well, what about showing some of the latest records that have joined my record collection? I have more too, but I haven't had the time to listen to it yet, so I'm going to just talk about the ones I've listened to so far. So, first of all, a comedy album. Many of you know that I'm a great fan of comedy albums, and I've been watching on YouTube lately lots of clips with Tim Conway, and I'm just, is it just me, or was television much more fun back in those days? I rarely get any reason to laugh nowadays when I switch on the old God box. One of my absolute favorites when it comes to vinyl records from when we talk about American comedians is Bob Newhart. And this is a collection, compilation disc. I think it was originally from 1966 or something like this, but this has the white Warner Brothers label that was used in the late 70s, early 80s. So I guess it's from that time sometime. Also, I think this is British pressing. So, well, anyway, we got old classics like the driving instructor defusing a bomb, nudist camp expose, bus driver school, introducing tobacco to civilization. Many of these numbers are available on YouTube. If you're not familiar with his comedy, his monologue style. I think it's amazing. I always laugh when I listen to this, even though I heard it so many times. Right, so that's a bit of comedy. Over to the world of blues, and I've bought 2 Eric Clapton albums. First, this one, which is the first solo album from 1970. It's good, many good musicians. It's not as good as he would become later, and in many cases maybe not as good as he was earlier as well, but it's a fairly good start. And then I bought Slow Hand from 1977. I thought I already had this, so I thought, okay, this was so cheap, so this is of course for many his most famous album. For many years I even thought this was a compilation album because so many famous Clapton tracks can be found on this one, like Cocaine and Wonderful Tonight and so on. But it isn't. So included this in the collection as well. Then I found 2 compilation albums with the Searchers. The Searchers Smash Hits and the Searchers Smash Hits Volume 2, both on the Marble Arch label. I think these are from 1967, 66 and 67 actually. In very good condition for a very good price. Marble Arch, I think, was some sort of budget label, subsidiary label to Pi Records. There were lots of great beat groups and pop groups in the UK in the 1960s. Searchers was, of course, only one of them. Searchers, they were from Liverpool, I think so. Yeah. Some Beatles influence, but you don't really have to make any comparisons. They stand up quite good as a pop group by their own, even if they're a bit forgotten today. Right. Then the next record is a bit of a... I took a bit of a chance here because I really didn't know whether it would be any good or not. It's The History of Soul by the Soulmates. And one reason why I bought this was, well, of course it's a very nice sleeve of a model. I have no idea who it is. It's a record on the British budget label Windmill. And the Soulmates, I'm quite sure that these are just British studio musicians doing their best to sound as soully as they can, if you can say, if you can really phrase like that. But well, I did. This could either be really horrible or this could be quite good. I think it's somewhere in between. I mean, it's not horrible, but you can't really compare it to the originals, but still not as bad as it could have been. Even if some of the singers are trying to sing with a sort of falsetto voice, is a little. The Family Affair, the version of Family Affair wasn't that good. Otherwise, we have quite good versions of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Lean on Me, Son of a Preacher Man, the Fa 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 song, the sad song. Yeah. Of course, the originals rock, and this is a bit of a, yeah, but still, it's quite okay. Okay, for many years I've been curious about the sensational Alex Harvey band, but I haven't bought any, and I don't know why. Sometimes when I thought, okay, now I'm going to really look for Alex Harvey, so the sensational Alex Harvey band records, I haven't found any. But this time I found one that was very cheap, so I thought, well, now it's the time to buy it. It's the SAHB Stories on Vertigo from 1976, and it's great. I mean, Alex Harvey, first of all, great band, great rock and roll with some blues elements, and the Scottish singer, the late Scottish singer Alex Harvey, had a great rough voice that suited this very well. So I'm going to check for more of the albums that they made. I know that also that they made an album without Alex Harvey, the sensational Alex Harvey band, without Alex Harvey. I first heard of them, it was my the boyfriend or husband of a neighbor who knew that I was into music, and then he borrowed me a big pile of records. That's where I first got in touch with the band and stuff like that, and the Last Waltz. I remember that there was a band with a record with the sensational Alex Harvey band in that pile. Not sure if it was this. It might have been, but I'm not sure. But of course, that's around 25 years ago now. So, right. Oh, time flies. Let's move on. Okay, now we have a Record Store Day issue, Swedish, numbered 500 copies. I've got number 49. Who cares? Of film music, jazz music. It's Lasse Faunal and his orchestra playing The Chameleon. And this was originally issued in 1969 on the RCA label. This reissue is on the Faunal label. I have no idea why. No idea. The old style Faunal label from the late 1960s. So, but never mind. I mean, this very good jazz music, very listenable. Lasse Faunal is a bit of a forgotten jazz star today, I think. Maybe not among the jazz buffs, but great trumpeter, and he's also joined by many of the best Swedish jazz musicians at the time on this record. And I know that the original is quite rare. That's probably why it was issued on this Record Store Day. It's a Record Store Day issue. So, and I bought it fairly cheap. Okay, then I found the debut album by some of my teenage favorites, En Vogue. This is their first album, Born to Sing, from 1990. Very good, although what I really loved when I was a teenager was their second album, Funky Divas. And I thought, well, that must be very difficult to get hold of on vinyl today. But I thought, well, okay. Then I did a quick Googling on the Swedish Tradera auction site, and I found it without any major problems and not very expensive. So here we go. Funky Divas, true favorite when I was a teenager and then of course it was on CD, but now I got my vinyl copy too, from 93. super band. Yeah. Then I found a Pickwick budget issue of material by Chuck Berry from the Mercury label. This, but reissued on the Pickwick label, early 70s. Of course, you can see that's not Chuck Berry, but a nice sleeve there. It's not Chuck Berry at its top probably, but I think I prefer the later, more bluesy sound that sounds more honest, to be quite honest, than the material he had big hits with in the 50s. There it was more like, okay, let's fill in the air. Okay, what does the rich white record buying public like? Okay, they want songs about fast cars. Okay, that's right. So that's one reason why I'm not really a fan of the early Chuck Berry songs, even if most of the musicians I adore love Chuck Berry. But I think this was very good. I like this. Must be a bit later, probably from the 60s. Yeah. Right. Then I found a record that I mean, I've got lots of records with Bruce Springsteen. Most of them were originally issued on vinyl. But up until Born in the USA. But I didn't have his first record, but now I got it. It's a bit worn here. It has a nasty tear here, and it's not an expensive pressing. I think it's a Dutch pressing. Yeah, it's a Dutch pressing from probably late 70s, early 80s. It says here that it's from 1975, but I know that this record was recorded in 72 and issued in 73, so that's that. Okay, another teenage favorite that I've been wanting to have from vinyl for a long time. Actually, I'd never had it on CD for some strange reason. I never bought it, although I liked so many songs from this album. Yeah, I never bought it on CD. And when I decided, okay, I want it on CD, then I couldn't find it anymore. Talking about French singer, model, and actress Vanessa Paradis. This is her third album that was made together with Lenny Kravitz. The first album she made with vocals in in English, and I think the cooperation between Vanessa Paradis and Lenny Kravitz is superb. Such good sound, so good songs, and suits Vanessa Paradis' voice very good. From 1992, and this is a recent reissue from this year on the Riviera. What's more, I've been trying to find some of Vanessa Paradis' records. Easier to find on vinyl singles than the actual LPs. The first LP I found, but not the second one. I don't remember the title of it, but I think that's where she did some cooperation with Serge Gainsbourg, unless I'm mistaken. Anyway, glad I found it, and still very good. Right, over to Swedish. Are we going to... Yeah. No, we're going to end with those. We're going to take this one. Yeah, over to Keb Mo, one of my favorite blues singers and guitar players. He has just issued this live album called That Hot Pink Blues Album, double album, and I've been wanting to get hold of more more material from Keb Mo. I have the first album that he made in 1994, 95. You know, the one with Every Morning. And I've been a great fan of him since I heard that. But I haven't bought that many of his records, but this is one of them. And it's just been issued, so it's fairly new. Okay, another fairly new album is with the Swedish band Benny Anderssons Orkester. Mitt hjärta klappar för dig. And this is, unless I'm mistaken, the first album with the Benny Andersson Orchestra that has been issued on vinyl. Because the CD was issued earlier this summer, but the vinyl edition has just been released. If you compare it to earlier issues by Benny Anderssons, it's quality altogether. Benny Andersson always stands for quality, even since back in the days of ABBA. But I would have wished for more instrumental numbers on this album. I think we have only one, even though we have two great singers in Tommy Körberg and Helen Sjöholm. I am very fond of the instrumental numbers as well. It only has 11 tracks, so maybe the CD has more tracks. I haven't checked that. But would make me a bit upset, really. Anyway, I wish that Benny Andersson's orchestra would issue their earlier albums in vinyl format as well. That's wish from this record collector. Okay, the last one I'm going to show you now is by the Swedish prog band 30-åriga kriget of the Mellotron label run by Stefan Dimle. This was issued last year, but I haven't got hold of my copy until recently. And I'm very fond of them. They were a great band back in the 1970s, and they still are today. And unlike most other albums, this record has vocals and lyrics in English. They've mainly been singing in Swedish before, but this one it's in English, so that's very nice. All right. Well, I still have some more records to listen to, but that will have to wait until a future video, because I want to listen to them first most of the time. But anyway, the summer has been nice. I hope your summer's been nice too. Back to work for me, and another semester, and hope you're all fine, and I wish you a great day. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening to me, and yeah, bye bye.